Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Eric Dwayne Brown, age 41, was sentenced to 60 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice when his probation was revoked in a hearing before the 8th Judicial District Court Tuesday morning. Brown was on probation for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, more than 4 grams but less than 200 grams of felony 2. His original arrest was in November of 2014. He was arrested for violation of probation on August 6th of this year. The range of punishment was 5 years to life, based on his second-degree felony charge and his prior trip to prison. At the hearing, his probation officer testified that the defendant failed to report to probation on numerous occasions, failed to take drug tests, and admitted to using methamphetamine while on probation. A special agent with the Texas Department of Public Service testified that he had seized approximately 7 grams of methamphetamine in Brown's home on August 1st of this year. Another special agent testified that the defendant was identified as a wholesale meth dealer in 2015 during a federal investigation, but was not prosecuted federally because he pled guilty to the offense and was placed on Hopkins County probation. An additional witness testified that the defendant delivered between 1 and 2 ounces of methamphetamine to her while he was on probation. With Tuesday early voting from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., 519 cast early ballots Tuesday as one of 2 days this week when early voting place will be open for extended hours. Thursday will also offer the 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. extended hours for voting. Early voting continues through Friday of this week. Voting on Friday will be from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. in the Justice of the Peace Precinct 2 courtroom. Election Day is Tuesday, November 6th. In an effort to meet the common goal of improving the region's roadways, Silver Springs Hopkins County Economic Development Corporation is hosting the 3rd annual Northeast Texas Rural Transportation Summit Thursday at the Hopkins County Regional Civic Center. The event will feature TxDOT Chief Engineer Bill Hale as the keynote speaker. Other invited attendees and speakers include the district and area engineers from TxDOT, local elected officials, and area business and industry leaders. The event will offer attendees an opportunity to speak directly with TxDOT officials and hear from other subject matter experts in transportation and hear about state priorities and plans as transportation moves forward in the region.
It's United Way campaign season, and actually we're at about 76% of the goal for 2018-2019. Let's get a report from Mike Jumper.
So we've got our team has dropped off packets at donors that have historically given in the past, and also to some new individuals and businesses that want to contribute. However, if you have not been contacted and you do feel led to make a donation to United Way, Hopkins County United Way, reach out to us. Phone number there is 903-243-4066. Again, 903-243-4066. Or you can contact Susan Burning, who's our administrative assistant. Susan B.uway@suddenlink.net. Again, that's SUSANB.uway@suddenlink.net. And Susan will get a packet out to you and give you an opportunity to participate.
So our United Way drive started about 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, the campaign for 18-19 kicked off officially first part of October. We've gotten packets out. We had a report meeting yesterday, very encouraging report meeting. As to date, we've got a overall goal of $165,000. To date, we've raised $121,459.63. So put that into a percentage. We're at 76% of our overall campaign goal. The other side of that coin is we still got 24% of the way to go. So we've come a long way, but we still got a long way to go to finish strong.
Often, United Way exceeds its goal.
Some years we have, some years we have not. A couple years ago we did. Last year we did not. We'd like to attribute that to Hurricane Harvey. I think had a big impact on it because I think Sulphur Springs and Hopkins County overall is a very generous and very giving county, but I think some of those resources went south to help out with Harvey, which is great as well.
Some years when you are reaching the time frame, of course, you don't have to end United Way in mid-November. That's just typically when it's the goal is reached. Well, in our Day in History, local history archives, it was shown one year this happened some decades ago. And so the ones who gave were asked or contacted again. They just gave again.
Amazing.
And made the goal that year.
I think that's very telling of Hopkins County. I had an opportunity to visit with a new business here in town, and he's from the Metroplex, and he was talking about how they're solicited quite a bit with donations, and I mean the idea that popped in my mind was, when there's a need, this county and this city comes together and we meet that need. We raise money when we have to, we contribute when we have to. It's great to be a part of such a giving and contributing community.
Well, and it's easy to get on the bandwagon of why this is necessary. The concept was long ago that why have everyone knocking on your door when you could give to one pool of money that contributes to charities and nonprofits?
Absolutely. So our handprint this year, we're able to contribute to 19 different nonprofit charitable organizations, and these charitable organizations go through a vetting process. We actually have an allocations committee that interviews these charitable organizations and tries to determine what their needs are, what our budget is, and then what we can allocate to each one of these. So we're going to reach 19 different charitable organizations. So it's a great opportunity for people to give one donation, and then we split that donation 19 different ways to reach out and touch these charitable organizations.
Well, if you think we have time in our interview, let's just tell what some of them are, like Boy Scouts, Circle 10 Council, Bright Star Baseball, Can Help, East Texas Council on Alcohol Drug Abuse, Heritage Christian Counseling Center, Hopkins County 4-H, and
Hopkins County Christian Alliance, Community Chest, Lake Country Casa, Little Forest Club, Meal a Day, Sulphur Springs, Northeast Texas Child Advocacy Center, Our Place, Lakes Regional Community Center, Safe Tea Shelter Agency, Shadow Ranch Therapeutic Riding Center, Sulphur Springs Symphony League, Teen Court, the Dinner Bell, Winsboro Community Resource Center, and that'll wrap it up.
Okay. And there's some administrative expenses, but 99 cents of every dollar that's donated, is that right?
Stays here locally.
Isn't that something?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we do have to give 1% back to United Way nationwide. We use their brochures, we use their marketing, which if anybody that's in business knows, if you can get away with 1% marketing costs, that's pretty cheap.
I like the slogan, United We Serve.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of where I came up with that was, it's an interesting time. There's a lot of division in the country right now. Just turn on the news. It doesn't take you long to realize that. United We Serve was just a slogan that came to mind because I think we can all come together when we start talking about children going to school hungry, senior citizens that go to bed at night hungry, domestic violence, alcohol abuse, basically everything that we wish wasn't in our society, but the reality is that it is in our society here. It is here locally, and I think we can all come together. I think we're all as divided as we can be politically on certain items. I think we can all come together, and I think we've all got a human heart when it comes to these issues that we have in our society, and I think we all can come to common ground on that.
Well, with 43 volunteers and yourself, and Adam Tier is president of United Way.
Yes, ma'am.
Your campaign chairman this year, Susan Burning, is secretary.
Mm-hmm. She
does a wonderful job.
Absolutely, yeah. Susan is she keeps the wheels turning on this bus. She does a great job, and she makes us look good. And
if someone just wanted to send a check today, they could send it to the headquarters address?
Yeah, we actually have a P.O. box address that if you're interested in mailing a check, if you've got a check that you want to write and you need it picked up, I'd be more than happy to pick it up. I'm sure Susan would be more than happy to pick it up. But if you want to mail it in, that mailing address is P.O. Box 735, Sulphur Springs, Texas, 75483. Again, P.O. Box 735, Sulphur Springs, Texas, 75483.
Now, some companies do it by payroll deduction.
Absolutely, yeah. So a lot of the larger and even some of the smaller companies that are around town give you an opportunity to make donations through payroll deduction, and that's a great way for people to give a lot of money over a period of time instead of a lump sum donation. So, for example, one that I use quite a bit is, if I ask you to give a $240 donation, you may say, I can't swing that this month. But if I say, what about $20 a month over the next year, they can swing that. The corporate donations and the individual donations have been overwhelming. It's amazing how many businesses here in Sulphur Springs have individual donations, but they also do a corporate match, which is awesome.
Tell me about that corporate match.
So we've been to a couple of businesses here in town that have basically they'll match dollar for dollar on what their individual employees raise. So, for example, we were at a business yesterday that raised through their individual employees almost $7,000. Their corporate match will be an additional $7,000 for a total of $14,000. So it's amazing. It's great to see the people jumping on board with Hopkins County United Way at the corporate level, and it's encouraging because they see the importance and the impact that it has in our community.
Well, I would think as an employee of that firm, then you could kind of feel like you were adopting United Way, and you could kind of, cheer them on from the sidelines.
Absolutely. I think there's a huge sense of pride in that, in contributing. I think as an employee of a company who gives at the corporate level, to me, it's encouraging to know that my company also believes in what I believe in, and so if you're giving individually and the company saying, "Hey, we'll match you dollar for dollar," that's encouraging, and I would have a sense of pride in that as an employee.
Well, tell me this: if someone listening says, "Well, my organization isn't on that list," how might they make application next year?
Just reach out to us. Again, that 903 number or that or Susan's email address, just reach out to us and say, hey, we'd love to participate next year. Or if you'd like to participate this year, reach out to us. We'll come out. We're more than happy. I've given multiple speeches. Adam's given multiple speeches at a lot of businesses here in Sulphur Springs, kind of giving you the overview of what United Way does, how it impacts our community directly. And so kind of a United Way 101, if you will, for these businesses that haven't given in the past. And then some businesses that have given in the past, we just go out there on an annual basis and just try to encourage the individuals and the corporate at the corporate level to donate as well.
It's a real great way. I'm pleased to death to know that United Way got its roots here, and it is strong in Hopkins County.
Absolutely. 63 years young.
Yeah, 63 years young. Well, so we're at about 75% of the goal?
Yes, ma'am.
We have at least 2 more weeks to go.
Yeah, we'll try to wrap up generally mid-November is our ultimate goal, but we'll go as long as we have to try to meet that goal. We've got some packets that are still out there. If you've got packets and you haven't turned them in yet and you've got them prepared, let us know. We'll swing by and pick those up. Our volunteers are trying to wrap up as fast as they can. Obviously, if we can reach the goal quick, that's great. But if we need to go a little bit longer to reach it and meet our goal, we'll be happy to do that as well.
And that'll be one more thing to be thankful for in November.
This is true.
Well, where is the thermometer so we can watch it as it goes on up?
Absolutely. So we've got 2 here. We've got one on Broadway as you're heading into downtown, right at the split, right by the fire department on Broadway in Linda. And then we have a digital thermometer that's on the digital billboard just under Chili's.
Okay. United Way, the campaign for 2018-2019 is underway, so get in there and be part of it. And thank you, Mike Jumper, for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
KSST Channel 18 News visited with Pam Carter at Silver Springs High School. Pam Carter is the culinary arts instructor for the school.
We have been so fortunate this year to have our administration really be behind us. And so this year, we've been enjoying our new classroom. We have so much more space this year. We have had so much more enrollment that Ms. Davis also is teaching more intro classes because we couldn't have them all in here. And we have been a part of several events in the community such as Heart of Hope and Casa for Kids. We're able to be a part of that. And so it's so awesome to have the kids be a part of greater things in the community, donating to others. And we've really enjoyed that.
I know at halftime for football games, you guys serve food there.
Yes.
You also serve food at other events. What level of class do they have to be in for that?
Well, I try to involve all of my students at some level. So in the intro classes, maybe on a little bit of a smaller scale, and then as they learn and get their food handler certification and kind of get a little bit of experience, then we even allowed many of our intro classes to help do plating at Heart of Hope. Because really, it's for them to have that practical experience. That is really where they learn. I mean, they learn in the classroom and we do exercises, but it's just so great for them to be a part of actual event. It really gives them more respect for what they're doing.
Now, they receive a food handler certificate. Is that just on the high school level, or is that a broader scope?
Well, most people in the food service industry, that is a mandatory thing that you have to work in a restaurant. So I start with my freshmen. They all have to have a food handler's license. Then the next tier class has to have another certification from the AAFCS, and then also the American Culinary Federation. My advanced class has a certification from them, and then one of my other classes also has the ServSafe manager's license. So every tiered class has a different certification. So when they leave here, the goal is that when they have their resumes completed, they have all those certifications, and even in practicum, as they're working out in the community, they're getting experience with different businesses in our community, so they have reference letters from all those business owners. So when they leave, if they stay in the program, they leave with just a fantastic resume and 4 different certifications plus a CPR certification. So they're ready, and for a job, for a college. I mean, it just makes it so much more attractive for an employer to look at them.
Great way to work your way through college.
Absolutely. And when you look at it, most people, their first job is in the hospitality industry. I mean, how many of us didn't start out waiting tables, doing something like that? So we're just trying to prepare them so they'll be more ready and more attractive to employers. As a business owner myself, you know, as hiring people before, most people you interview, they don't have proper certifications that are needed in the industry. And so I just want my students to be ready for that. So when they go for interviews, they're ready for those things.
There are a number of culinary schools beyond the high school level, secondary, post-secondary schools. How well does this prepare one for that?
Well, I think it definitely gives them a lot of preparation for culinary school. We go tour one of the culinary schools from NTCC. All of my classes will do that this year. Some of my students are already submitting applications for different culinary schools. Several have already been accepted to Escoffier in the Austin campus. They also have a Colorado campus. There are several other culinary schools. Tyler now is starting a culinary school. So we want them to be ready, and with having the certifications they need, they're going to be well ahead of many of the people that they start with.
What kind of foods do you prepare as a general rule?
Well, we do a lot of pastry, a lot of cookies, a lot of cakes, so they learned all those things. But they also do savory foods. My advanced class has already been doing a series on vegan cooking, on gluten-free cooking, so special diets. They also were doing a competition this week on pho, which is a Vietnamese soup. So all my classes are doing that. So we did research on pho, then they're all preparing their own. And so I have judges coming in to taste that, and so they are competing for gift cards. So they love to compete. And we do global cuisine as well. We also do, of course, as you mentioned earlier, with all of our catering, we have done things like fajitas in the press box this year. We've done pulled pork. We have done heavy appetizers, just all sorts of different cuisines. I try to do as many different things as we can. And with our cafe that we have in our school, we do different menus every week. Like last week we had lasagna. This week we have taco soup. We did Alfredo lasagna one week. We've done like crusted pecan chicken, vegetables, so just all different types of things.
Now, does this class run that cafe, or is
Yes.
it just a part?
No, they do run that cafe. And so 2 days a week I email, and then people in the community can check our Facebook page out. And so if they want, it's free delivery. It's about $6, $6.25. You get dessert and a full meal. So it's a pretty good deal. And free delivery right to your door. And you're supporting the culinary arts at Sulphur Springs High School. So it's awesome.
Good to know that.
Yeah.
So, do they learn management principles along with the cooking?
Yes, and we do different projects during the school year. So one exercise we did this last week was front of the house, back of the house. So they all take turns. One day they're the customer, one day they're the server. So they're practicing how to fold napkins, how to set the table, how to wait them, so they're getting that experience. One time they're the cook, one time they clean. We also do management techniques. They're actually, some of my older classes will come in and actually manage groups of the small groups in my younger classes, and different things like that. And we have different projects that highlight different management techniques. So I try to get them a well-rounded look at it so they know what they're going into.
So basically, from a technology standpoint, you're basically teaching the very rudiments and fundamentals that prepare one for life outside school.
Yes, and I look at it as more than cooking, because a lot of the students come in here and things such as simple as making change, or culinary math, like, okay guys, y'all need to quadruple this recipe. You know, sometimes they'll look at me with that blank stare, and I think, you learned fractions in 3rd grade, we can do this. But they need to be reminded of those things and know how to make change and know how to add and subtract, and just remind them of those without having to use a calculator and relying on technology. We of course use technology in the classroom. We use a point of sale system. We use our computers for research and looking up recipes and research into different businesses, and we do all those things. We even do a business model during the year of a food truck, where they have to design everything from the food truck to the menu to they even go through the financial part of it, the equipment in the food truck, the whole thing's pricing out the menu, so they do costing, all of it. So we try to get a well-rounded look at that, and I try to think about it so when they leave here, they can actually have some skills to get a job. Because a lot of the students I have either want to go to culinary school, and some don't want to go to college. So, you know, the harsh reality is we all have to work. Right. So I want them to be ready for that.
How many students do you have?
We've got about 125 kids in our program this year.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Wildcats football team plays Kaufman in a district battle for second place Friday at the Prim on senior night. At his weekly media gathering on Wednesday morning, Wildcats football coach Greg Owens talked about Kaufman and his Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, they're extremely impressive. I mean, they really are. They're explosive. Offensively, the quarterback, the running back, they got a slot receiver, number 13. His name is Gasper. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 Gaspers, actually. I don't know if they're brothers or cousins or whatever,
brothers,
3 and 12. And boy, those guys can go. I mean, they feed off each other in the ball game. I went and watched them live play against Greenville, and extremely impressed by them. And they play with a lot of emotion. They feed off each other, and they get on each other, and they just, and then the whole team just rallies behind that. And the quarterback, he's got some emotion to him, but he stays really poised. But a kid that's he's done it. They went and won the 7-on-7 tournament in Tyler. With some really good football teams over there, so they can throw the football. He can spin the football. He's also their punter. The quarterback I'm talking about right now, his name is Collier, mm-hmm. And but he's really a poised kid and can run it, throw it, whatever you need to do. So impressed by those guys. But as much as I'm impressed by the skill people they have, their offensive line is really impressive. Mm-hmm. We have played some really good offensive lines in this district, and from Roy Cities to Ennis's big physical guys to Corsicana's extremely long and athletic guys, and these guys may be the most technically sound at understanding. I don't know if they're going to necessarily wow you with their physical appearance, but man, when they play, they know what their assignment is, and they execute really well. So our hands are full there and getting in that, because they're really efficient in what they're doing. So really impressed with them offensively. I mean, they're explosive at any time. It's one of those teams, they could be 3rd and long, and They don't mind. They'll dial it up and they'll throw a deep one and they'll just go up and get it. So super impressed by them. And I think a lot of that, their moxie comes from they played together a long time. He's got 22 seniors. He carries about 40 on his team. And he's got 22 seniors, 2 freshmen, I think 4 sophomores, and whatever's left from that, roughly 11, 12 juniors. And so, you know, impressed by those guys and just how they play together, and they went deep in a playoff run last year, and that stuff carries over. You know, those things. We've experienced that before when you have a deep runs, and just the next year, that's the expectations, and that's what these kids, and it seems to be coming from the kids by the emotion that they play on the field. So I'm impressed by them. I really am. And they got their defensive fronts good. Number 44, number 11, those guys really bug us. And 44's got a motor on him, and he gets after it. And they got some linemen that'll pop back and forth on O-line, D-line guys, and just, I mean, they're just tough, good high school football players that get after it and run with great motors.
Your middle linebacker pretty good too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, and then those skill guys flip around and they go play in the back end, you know, so they run around and make plays. I mean, they know what they're doing, so it'll be a heck of a ball game, you know, and I hope we show up and get after it too, and cut out some of the mistakes that we've been having to, you know, we kind of kill ourselves with against Corsicana and a little bit last week against Greenville, and he's cleaned some of that stuff up, and hopefully we can kind of get clicking and get in the rhythm ourselves.
Well, it looked like about 5 of those offensive skill guys also play defense. So
Yeah,
they,
oh yeah. Yeah,
they have a lot of.
it's a lot like us. I mean, it's a lot like we have guys who try to rest them and they just flip around and go the other side and they go play, and kids are just conditioned to that. So, you know, everybody's kind of dinged up and rolled ankles and shoulders and all that kind of stuff at this point. So, you know, the kids are just having to play through those things, and his team's kind of the same way. I mean, he's not carrying a bunch, and so you're trying to figure out ways not to hurt each other in practice, but still get good looks and still let all that stuff be as efficient and as fast as you can, and kind of get after each other. So you got to be smart with all that, because those kids play special teams too. I mean, we forget about all that. There's not a whole lot of time you could just sit there and rest them.
Battle between second and third seed. In your mind, is there a lot of difference in that?
Probably not. I mean, you know, you project to go in and start projecting, you know, the playoff brackets or whatever. I don't. There's no way any of us can get first seed, even if Corsicana loses this week. Because they got the tiebreaker over both of us. Mm-hmm. And so, but we can't do any worse than third either, because we got the tiebreaker over the guys that we could be facing, you know, for our third or fourth seed. So that's kind of where we're at, and I hope we don't want to be complacent in that. We're still trying to win ball games and trying to go get it, and so, I mean, have the best record we possibly can have, but that's just kind of the reality of where everybody's sitting right now.
The Sulphur Bluff Lady Bears defeated Fruitvale 3-1 Monday at Cumbie in a by-district match. The score was 25-18, 25-19, 10-25, and 25-14. The Lady Bears have a bye in area competition and now will face the winner of a Miller Grove and Union Hill match in a regional quarterfinal match next Monday in Sulphur Springs. In the by-district match, McKenna Morgan had 10 service points, 19 kills, and 2 blocks. Margaret Ryman had a team-high 18 service points. Kaylin Hume had 15 service points and 17 assists. Ann Dorner had 3 service points, 5 kills, and 2 blocks. Allie Colette had 2 service points and 17 assists. Kirsten Brown had 5 kills. Delina Di Donato had 2 service points, 6 kills, and a block. Lydia Drummond had 4 service points. The Lady Bears coach is Zandra Payton.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.